Good evening and welcome to Election Night 2021. The polls have just closed in the state of Georgia, where control of the U.S. Senate will be decided. And here we go, the first results are starting to come in. Here we can see in the Senate race from Georgia, between David Perdue and Jon Ossoff, too early to call, only 1% of the vote is in. David Perdue with a strong lead of around 20%. In the special race between Loeffler and Warnock, we see once again too early to call, 1% of the vote in. You can already see Senator Loeffler underperforming Senator Perdue. She only leads by 16.8%. And here we see the Senate at this hour, 50 seats for the Republicans, 48 seats for the Democrats. It's a net gain of 1. To take back control of the Senate, Democrats need 2 seats. There's 2 up for grabs. Everything's at play here. More vote has been trickling in Georgia. Here we see 12% of the vote in. Senator Perdue still with a strong lead, but it has been cut down by a bit. 17.4% is the difference between the two. In the special Senate race between Loeffler and Warnock, again, Senator Loeffler still underperforming. She only leads by 15.8%. The Senate at this hour, nothing has changed. 50 for the Republicans, 48 for the Democrats. Now a bit later in the night, 34% of the vote in, still too early to call. Senator Perdue leading by around 14.6%. Jon Ossoff has been steadily cutting into the lead, but will he be cutting into it enough to take the lead and the seat? Once again, special Senate race, Loeffler leads by around 12.4%, still underperforming her Republican colleague. The Senate at this hour, still nothing has changed so far. Democrats at 48, Republicans still at 15. Welcome back, and here we see more results. 48% of the vote in, still too early to call. Senator Perdue has 56.1% of the vote. Jon Ossoff at 43.9%. That's a difference of around 12.2%. Ossoff continues to cut into his lead. In the special Senate race, 48% of the vote in as well. Too early to call. Senator Loeffler only leading by 10.8% with 55.4% of the vote compared to Warnock's 44.6%. And of course, the Senate at this hour, still nothing has changed. 50 for the Republicans, 48 for the Democrats. And here we go, 69% of the vote in. Too early to call. Senator Perdue with 54.1%. Jon Ossoff 45.9%. The difference between the two has been cut down to only 8.2%. But there's still a lot of vote out there. We don't know what's going to happen here. In the special Senate race, again, too early to call. 53.2% for Loeffler, 46.8% for Mr. Warnock. A difference of around only 6.4%. The Senate, nothing has changed. 50 for the Republicans, 48 for the Democrats. We have some breaking news here. The Senate races in Georgia are now too close to call, with around 75% of the vote in. Senator Perdue only leading by around 6.6% with 53.3% of the vote. Jon Ossoff steadily behind with 46.7% of the vote. That lead has been diminishing throughout the night. In the special Senate race between Loeffler and Warnock, we're seeing a Loeffler with 52.4% of the vote, still underperforming Mr. Perdue. And Reverend Raphael Warnock with 47.6% of the vote. That's only a difference of 4.8%. Too close to call. 75% of the vote in. The Senate at this hour, nothing has changed so far. And here we are late into the night. 88% of the vote has been counted. Too close to call between Perdue and Ossoff. Senator Perdue with around 52.2% of the vote. Jon Ossoff with around 47.8% of the vote. That's a difference of only 4.4%. Too close to call. The special Senate race in Georgia is also too close to call. Senator Loeffler with 51.6% of the vote. Raphael Warnock with around 48.4% of the vote. That's only a difference of 3.2%. Senator Loeffler has been underperforming Perdue throughout the night. Too close to call. The Senate at this hour, nothing has changed so far. 50 for the Republicans, 48 for the Democrats. .91% of the vote has been counted so far. Senator Perdue still with a lead of around 2.6% with 51.3% of the vote. Jon Ossoff with 48.7% of the vote. Too close to call there. Special Senate race in Georgia. Now this one's trying to become a nail-biter here. 1.4% of the vote separates the two. Senator Loeffler with 50.7% of the vote. Raphael Warnock with 49.3% of the vote. The Senate at this hour, still nothing has changed so far. With 93% of the vote in, still too close to call in both races. Now Senator Perdue's lead has been cut to only 1%. He leads with 50.5% of the vote. Jon Ossoff, 49.5% of the vote. The special Senate race in Georgia, 0.6% of the vote separates the two. Senator Loeffler with 50.3% of the vote. Raphael Warnock with 49.7% of the vote. Still too close to call. And the Senate at this hour, still nothing has changed. Breaking news late into the night. We have a projection to make. We believe after all the votes are counted, Reverend Raphael Warnock will now be known as Senator Raphael Warnock, because we can project he will defeat incumbent Senator Kelly Loeffler. That is an important pickup for the Democrats, who are now only one seat away from taking the majority in the U.S. Senate, meaning all eyes are now on the Perdue-Ossoff race. Speaking of the Perdue-Ossoff race, let's take a look at the numbers there, where we can see that Jon Ossoff is taking a minuscule lead over Senator Perdue. However, the race is far too close. It's anyone's game now. Democrats now hold 49 seats in the Senate with a net gain of 2. Democrats are just one seat away from taking the majority in the U.S. Senate. We have breaking news in the early hours of this morning. We can now project that Republican Senator David Perdue has been defeated by Jon Ossoff. With 99% of the vote counted, Jon Ossoff is the apparent winner in the Georgia Senate race. This means Democrats will take the control of the Senate for the first time since 2014. Even after heavy defeats in Senate races in places like Maine and North Carolina, the Democratic Party seemed to unite moderates and progressives alike to regain control of the Senate and secure one-party control in Washington. This is the first time Republicans have not been in control of at least one chamber since 2010. Both parties must now focus on the 2022 midterms. Will Democrats keep control, or will the Republicans strike back? Thank you for joining me on this election night and morning. Have a nice day.